Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the studentloanjustice.org live stream for Sunday, um, July 18th. Hold on a minute. Okay, anyways, I hope everything is going well out there in the world. If I can see your comments, I will respond to them. See, we had a pretty good week last week. What's going on right now? Well, the lending system is falling apart in slow motion. Hopefully that goes without saying. It is vanishing into a mist of illegitimacy. And as I predicted months ago, our opposition continues. Well, what they are doing is they are doubling down on what they always did. So we're seeing a flurry of articles coming out from disinformation specialists like, oh, I don't know, Jason Delisle, Preston Cooper, Matthew Chingos. These are all years in the making swamp creatures fighting for this lending system. I hope the irony of that is not lost on you all. All those people that I just mentioned call themselves conservatives. Yet here they are. Jason Delisle and Preston Cooper, they're saying, oh, there is no student loan crisis. Everything's great. Jason went on C-SPAN yesterday, and if you look up or down on this group, you can see a post that I did about that. We need to come after these guys, people. I know I'm kind of laughing because to me it's kind of a joke at this point. But this lending system, along with their careers, is vanishing into a mist of illegitimacy. They call themselves conservatives, but here they are defending the worst big government lending scam, which is hurting red states far worse than average, which feeds the colleges, which they claim to hate. There's nothing conservative about what these guys are saying. They are the masks have come off the swamp creatures like Jason Delisle, Preston Cooper, and Matthew Chingos. So these guys don't have a leg to stand down. They're looking increasingly ridiculous as time goes on. But at the same time, guys, these people are very real threats. They are actively engaged in trying to ruin your life. You should take that very seriously, as I do. So if you look up and down on this group, you can see the thing about Jason Delisle on the group. You can see the Twitter feed about that interview he did yesterday. And you can add your own comments to that Twitter feed. You can send C-SPAN, who did the interview, you can send them an email and say, C-SPAN, shame on you. You've been letting this disinformation specialist on your air for years now. And now that the lending system is catastrophically failed, there is no saving it. We're looking at an 80% default rate. Shame on you for letting these yahoos like Jason Delisle, Preston Cooper, Matthew Chingos use and abuse your airwaves to mislead and in fact apply false claims onto your viewing audience and into the zeitgeist generally. Shame on you, C-SPAN. So really, guys, this is a very critical time in this battle. The lending system is going away. But whether it has a clean, quick death that stimulates the economy and gets this lending system gone so that we as a country can find a better way to educate our citizens, or whether it is a very painful, drawn out, probably socially unrestful unwinding, a lot that in large part depends on how hard we fight. You know, this group, like it or not, believe it or not, we are the tip of the spear in this battle. You know, we started the national conversation about canceling student loans by executive order in March. We have always been the driving force behind all the bankruptcy legislation that we've seen, and most importantly, bankruptcy legislation that is forthcoming, assuming that we don't get screwed by the swamp and they do what they did in the past and try and foist a fake loan cancellation joke upon us as a cheap substitute for bankruptcy protections. All that stuff depends on how hard we fight. You know, a year ago we had, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 people in our group across all of our platforms. Today we've got like, I don't know, 1.1 million, 1.2 million, somewhere in there. So we've grown a lot, and that's a very good thing. But I'm telling you guys, this battle is not getting easier. It's getting harder. And we are still the pioneers. You know, for every person we have in our group, there's 40 people out there in the country who don't even know about us, who haven't signed our petition, but should and would if they knew about the petition. So now is not the time to let off the gas and think that somebody else is going to pull your weight for you. They will not. That has never worked. You can't sit there and wait and watch and worry. So if you forget everything I say tonight, remember, oh, yeah, what that one guy said, I've got to get off my ass because these are my loans. This is my life. This is my battle to fight. Indeed, it is. And what we all do collectively as a group over the next couple months could very well tell the tale. Whether we succeed or whether we spend the rest of our lives under this predatory, big government, unconstitutional, livelihood, and in some cases life-wrecking lending scam that has no place in this country. Lending systems failed. The loans will be canceled somehow or another. But whether that takes the rest of your life to happen or whether it takes the next couple months depends entirely. It depends in very large part on how hard we in this group fight. If there was another group out there fighting what we're fighting for, I would join that group. But we're it, guys. We are it. So take that seriously. As I said, if I can see your comments, I will definitely respond to them. Here we are. So yeah, we're seeing these articles seated in the zeitgeist, and that's only going to increase, guys. One other point, we're also going to be seeing a full flood of articles, and we've already seen 2 in the past like 10 days, that try and trick us into thinking that under existing law, it's possible to get your student loans discharged in bankruptcy. See, our opposition, they want no changes in the law. So they will trot out these exceedingly rare instances where people's bankruptcy cases, they get some sort of a favorable ruling. They've been doing this for years, guys. So, and it really pisses me off because every time they do this, I get a swamp or I get a flood of messages saying, oh, look at this article. Oh, is this it? Are we done? Is the problem solved? Because the headlines of these articles always say, this is the bankruptcy case that will change everything. Oh, the dam's about to break. Blah, 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 blah. It's all, pardon my French. Hopefully this is the only time I'll swear tonight. It's all bullshit, people. Don't fall for it. Our opposition wants you sitting on your hands. They want you doing nothing. They want you to believe that people other than you out there, the people in Washington, D.C. or whatever, the lawyers, whoever, are fighting and winning this battle on your behalf. That's what they want. They want you doing nothing. They want you sitting there, waiting, watching, and worrying. They love that. So they put these articles out saying, oh, things are getting easier on bankruptcy with student loans. That's bullshit. Sorry, guys. It's not true. It is absolutely false. I can show you articles from 15 years ago. The headlines are almost exactly the same. Oh, this is the bankruptcy case that may change everything. Listen, guys, as long as this one line of federal code, 11 U.S. Code 523, parentheses, A, parentheses, 8, as long as this one line of federal code is sitting there, bankruptcy will always be essentially impossible to get for 99.99% of the people out there. In a recent year of 149,000 people who filed for bankruptcy and had student loans, fewer than 20 even got a partial discharge. Those numbers are not going to change very much under existing law. We've got to get that one line of federal code repealed. Repealed. frankly, President Biden, should have done this on day one. But the president and the secretary, they can order their contractors and their staff to stop opposing bankruptcy filers on student loans in court. They can do that tomorrow. That's what needs to happen. All this bullshit. Sorry, I apologize. All this stuff that we're seeing about this bankruptcy case or that bankruptcy case, it's fake. It's fake news. So don't buy it. Don't fall for it. Stand with us and fight. We need you on the ground. We need you doing the not even hard work, but making the effort to, like right now, the most important thing, there's two things: getting our petition to grow, but maybe even more important than that is convincing Republicans, conservatives out there, that the conservative thing to do is to cancel these loans, return bankruptcy to the loans that can't be canceled, and be done with this lending system. This lending system is dead. It's toast. It's dying in slow motion. The thing that's holding us back right now, and we're a strictly nonpartisan group. We pretty much hate both parties. But the thing that's holding us back now are Republicans in Congress and conservatives generally. There's no good reason for that. This is a big government, college enriching lending monstrosity, the likes of which no true conservative could ever get behind. We make this argument all the time, and we win this argument with every conservative we have the argument with, 100% of the time. It is like talk about a dam ready to break. The dam that's ready to break will break when a couple of Republican governors, people like Brian Kemp in Georgia, Greg Abbott in Texas, you name, South Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana, when the governors of any or all of those states finally stand up and say, Mr. President, I've had enough of this. This government debt now exceeds our entire state budget. There's enough student loan debt in the state of Georgia to buy every farm in Georgia twice and still have $15 billion left over. Cancel these loans, Mr. President. When we can get even one or two Republican governors to do that, which is what they should do, they've got a responsibility to do if they're doing their duty to their citizens. Because remember also, of the 45 million student loan borrowers out there, my best estimate is that over half are either Republicans or independents. So this is their base. There's no good reason that any of the Republican governors I mentioned, many who I did not mention, no good reason that they can't stand up and fight for their people over the swamp in Washington, D.C. This lending system is failed. Even before the pandemic, 80% of everybody was never going to be able to repay their loans. We were headed for a default rate of like 70, 75% before the pandemic. You know, the subprime home mortgage default rate, by comparison, was only 20%. Right? We know that the class of 2004, who were borrowing less than a third of what's being borrowed today, their student loan default rate was 40%. That's double subprime home mortgage default rate. And those people borrowed a third what people are borrowing today. So to say that the default rate for everybody walking around right now with student loans is going to be 75%, that's not even controversial, really. I mean, think about it. It's just math. So that's the dam that we need to break, guys. Seriously, whether you are a conservative or a liberal or none of the above, like me, like us, like this group, we are a nonpartisan group. Wherever you lie on the political spectrum, you need to push these Republican governors. People like, as I said, Brian Kemp in Georgia, Greg Abbott in Texas, Ron DeSantis in Florida. In fact, he may even be the number one guy. I think the state budget of Florida is $80 billion. The people of Florida owe $120 billion in student loan debt. And most of that is federal student loan debt. Ron DeSantis should be on our side. If you live in Florida, you have got the power. I don't have the power. I don't live in Florida. You have the power to confront the governor, whether it's through the media, Maybe you call the Tampa Bay Times or something and get them to report that fact that I just said and ask the governor for a comment. Whether you do that, maybe you go to a town hall meeting and you say, Governor, our state owes $119 billion in student loan debt. Our state budget is only $80 billion. What the F is going on here, Governor? How could you let this happen to our state? Then that's where we win, guys. You literally could be the one person that asks the one question at the right time of the right person that pushes that domino down and causes a cascade that culminates in one or more governors saying, yeah, Mr. President, we're done. Cancel these loans. This is insane and crazy. We're not doing it anymore. Cancel the loans. I guarantee you, when 3 or 4 Republican governors do that, Joe Biden will have no choice at that point. And nobody will pay after that. At that point, that I think will be the straw that breaks the back of this lending system. And make no mistake, guys, the bad guys, our opposition, they know this lending system's done. They know. They're not stupid. They know what I know. And what I know, I just told you. So now you know what I know, what the opposition knows. And that is that this lending system is done. It's toast. There is no saving it. There should be no saving it. Period. So 2 things you can be doing right now. You can be helping to grow our petition, and you can be doing that second thing, reaching out to conservatives, whether it's through the media or not. I'm not going to repeat myself. You're not stupid. You can understand everything I just said. These are your loans. This is your problem. And until you get off your ass and live up to your responsibility as a pioneer, and you are a pioneer, make no mistake, then this problem is not going to get solved. It's going to be a terrible, terrible, lifelong, life-ruining thing for all of us. Think about that. Do you want that? If you don't want that, then get off your ass and help us. Now, to all the people out there who have been doing the work, and there are thousands of them out there, I salute you. I applaud you. To everyone else, get off your ass and help solve this problem. We're going to have a very strong week coming up, guys. Things are happening fast. You need to check back on this group early and often, hopefully once a day. We ask our members to do a very simple action every day. Usually it's on Twitter. Sometimes it's sending an email. Sometimes it's something else. Usually doesn't take more than maybe even a minute to do. It's like retweet this or send an email that. It takes almost no time at all. When 1 million people do that, this problem goes away. When 30 people do it, not so much. Power in numbers. We've got the numbers. We've got more people in our group than the entire U.S. military times like 2 or something. We have an army. We have a huge muscle, but we've got to flex it, and you've got to help. So again, to everybody who's been doing the work, I salute you. You are the pioneers, and my hats are off to you. To everybody else, get off the stick. Quit pretending that somebody else is going to solve this problem for you. Ain't going to happen. This is all about your agency and your action. Don't forget that. So, with that, I think I will call it a night. Again, I'm sorry if I missed people's comments. But if I see them later, I will respond to them in stream. So have a great night. Oh, the last thing I will say is if you can make a donation right now, it'd be super helpful. We need to raise, I think, $320 in the next week or so. $320. So if 16 people donate $20, that'll do it. If if 7 people donate $50, that will also do it. We can fight and win this battle on very little finances, guys. We can't do it on nothing, though. Cannot do it on nothing. So please help with that. studentloanjustice.org/donate and make that happen. So with that, I'll just wish you all a good night. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's make this next week historic. you have no idea how important you are. So good luck, Godspeed, and God bless everybody.